How's it going, everyone? You're here and you're like, man, I really want to buy one of those M1 Macs, but I don't know. World of Warcraft Shadowlands just came out, and I really want to know if it'll play it. Well, don't worry, Jeff the IT guy here has your back on it. We're going to take a look at the performance on the M1 MacBook Pro. This will be indicative of the experience that you'll have on the Mac Mini as well as the MacBook Air. And we'll talk about the performance, the FPS, where the settings are and things like that. And one of the great things about this is actually last week, whenever this came out, Blizzard went ahead and released an ARM version. So this runs native. It runs native on the M1 Mac, so it's not running through the emulator. So it actually is able to leverage, the architecture of the M1 chip that Apple has provided or produced. And so we'll go ahead and we'll talk about it. This is Shadowlands. We start out in the city of Orbost and stuff. And we start out at the native resolution of the MacBook Pro, which I think is like 2560 by 1600 or something. It's a little bit of a weird resolution. And inside the city at that resolution, playing on preset 4, we get about 30 FPS, something like that. Of course, that's just how it is in the cities. Whenever you're playing in World of Warcraft, you're going to have quite a bit lower FPS inside of a major city. So it's 2560 by 1440 is what this is saying that it was, which is wrong. That's not the resolution. But that's the resolution it was playing at. Preset 4, it looks good, getting about 30 FPS inside of the city. And so we go to the new zone, which is Maldraxxus, one of the new zones, and we're going to see how it does, just questing and stuff like that. And so questing, the FPS was anywhere between 50 and 60 at the 4 preset. So it looks good. It's got a really good resolution. You'll see in the video that it actually looks really good. And it's pretty smooth. I was quite surprised at how smooth it was. But you're able to play it. And what I want to look at is just the fact that this is better performance than what you would get on a MacBook Pro 16, close to it at least. I mean, this is better performance than what you would get on a lot of previous Macs whenever trying to play World of Warcraft. And so it's really cool that they're able to leverage the chip. So here we are, we're inside of the arena here in Maldraxxus. There's a lot of stuff going on, and this is really going to drive down the FPS. This drives it down to about 30, FPS, which is to be expected. I mean, you can see here on the screen, there is just a ton of stuff going on. There's mobs everywhere. There's, players everywhere. It is completely packed, and so there's a lot of effects going on. And so it's still able to do really well. It's not bogging down all the way, but we're still sticking at around 30 to 60 FPS, which is quite a bit of a range. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop it down to 2048 by 1280, still at preset 4. And what we're going to notice by going to this 2480 by whatever it was, is that our FPS actually stays closer to that 60 mark. And what's really weird is even though I don't have the FPS capped, for some reason there's like an internal cap somewhere that will not let it go past 60, which is strange to me. The max I've ever seen it go is 60 to 61 no matter what you do to the settings. And I don't know if that's just the cap of the MacBook Pro, if there's some setting that's capping it there. I don't know. There could be something in the background that's doing that. But as you can see now, though, after we've reduced that resolution, the game is a lot smoother playing. And so here we are, we're just killing mobs and stuff. And you'll notice that it's smoother. So we're staying above that 30 FPS mark, which is really making this a playable game. And which is really cool to see. And so used to before, if you'd have like an iMac or a MacBook Pro 16, something like that if you wanted to play World of Warcraft, or you had to do an external GPU. Okay, so let's talk about like the conclusion of this. And so while playing this, it was actually unplugged, and so I didn't have it plugged in. It was unplugged playing it. I played for a little while on the battery. The battery life was great. The thing to note about this chip is it's only 14 watts in the MacBook Pro and the Mac Mini. And so it doesn't draw a whole lot of power at all. The fan never came on whatsoever. It was super quiet. It was cold to the touch. It didn't get, you know, it didn't get hot at all, really. It was really cold, like I said, cool to the touch, able to play. It looked good. It played well. However, the resolution really isn't a strong suit for this. It's a really hard resolution to push. The 2560 by 1440 or the 2048 by 1280 or whatever it was. Yeah, that's what it is. 2048 by 1280. It's not an easy resolution. However, it does look good on the MacBook Pro. If you get something like the Mac Mini and you're using like a 1080p screen, you're going to notice that you're going to be able to actually play this game really, really well. So, 1080p screen, Mac Mini, you're going to be able to play WoW, no problem. And that's really cool to see, because I don't know about all the devs out there, but, some people do like to play this game. They also like to use the MacBook or the Mac Mini for work. And before, you'd have to use an external GPU, unless you had a MacBook Pro, and then it sounded like a jet engine. It was really hot. There's just a lot of things not going for it, so people prefer PC. But you can do it on this. Like I said, you want to do 1080p if you get the Mac Mini. Just make it a more playable experience. Also, one thing to note is you cannot use an external GPU with the new M1s, which is a shame that you can't use an external GPU. But Apple is really touting that they've got the solution for both the graphics and the processing, and so it's actually really cool to see just how well the graphics do in World of Warcraft. And so it's really cool. Kudos to Apple. Listen, if you like this video, leave a like, leave a thumbs up in the comments below. Let me know. Are you going to play World of Warcraft Shadowlands? Do you even like World of Warcraft Shadowlands? Am I wrong in assuming that the people who actually watch my channel, those who are interested in like how to use things for developers and IT and stuff, are even interested in gaming and stuff? But I wanted to go ahead and just show what it was like to play, a AAA title, a very popular title, for those who want to play it. And so go ahead, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. We do a lot of cool stuff here on the channel. We're going to be taking a look at an HP Omen, the base model. I'm going to be showing you all how to upgrade it. We're going to look at performance. We're going to, do a conclusion on it and talk about if you should buy it and why or why not you shouldn't buy it. And so we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff here on the channel. You're not going to want to miss that. So go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and keep it real.